Hi, I'm Ken Roberts, President of World City. Welcome to the first edition of Trade Matters. Each week we're going to take a look at important issues in the trade field. Today, Trump and trade. In future editions we'll look at top countries, top trade partners, top imports, top exports, you name it. If you want to follow trade, follow us on social media. This is where you'll find all you need to know about what's going on in the world of trade. Okay, Trump and trade, let's get right to it. Many of us assumed that Hillary Clinton was going to be our next president, and we're surprised that our next president will be actually Donald Trump. What does that mean for the people who pay attention to import-export trade? I think you're not going to see significant changes, even though Donald Trump was talking about ripping up NAFTA, worst trade deal ever, was talking about putting steep tariffs on Chinese imports. I'll tell you why. He thumbed his nose at the establishment throughout the election. He thumbed his nose at the media, he thumbed his nose at the Republican Party, he thumbed his nose at the Democratic Party, and he still managed to win. The next group he's going to face is going to be K Street, the lobbyists who are close to the White House in Washington, D.C. on K Street. Who are they going to represent? I took a look at some of the top U.S. exports to see what he's likely up against. So let's take a look at a few top exports so we can see why he's going to have some challenges and why I think there'll be fewer changes to our trade policy than he might have thought he was going to be imposing. Our number one U.S. export, worth $88 billion through the first 9 months of this year, is aircraft. $11 billion of that goes to China. That's the number one partner for that. Boeing is not going to be particularly interested in seeing a trade war with China. Our number two export is gasoline. The top two markets are Mexico and Canada. Our number three export is motor vehicles. China is the second largest market in the world after Canada, and that's a lot of cross-border trade with Canada there. So the major auto manufacturers are not going to want to see a trade war with China. Our number eight export is medical instruments. You're talking about companies like Boston Scientific, Medtronic, General Electric, Baxter Pharmaceuticals. These companies are not going to want to see a trade war because the number 3, 5, and 6 markets for those exports are Mexico, China, and Canada. Our number 10 export is a certain category of medicine, largely in pill form. Number 2, 8, and 9 markets are Canada, China, and Mexico. I am relatively certain that Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Merck, Novartis are not interested in seeing a trade war or any kind of barriers to trade with China, Canada, or Mexico. So will Donald Trump rip up NAFTA? Will he impose harsh tariffs on Chinese imports? Will he suggest that China is a currency manipulator? I don't think he will. I think he may make those statements. I think he may posture. I think he may seek to negotiate better deals. But I think in the end, when he hears from the powerful interests like the ones I've mentioned, he's going to find it's much better to spend his time focusing on other issues. Thank you for listening. I hope to hear from you via social media and hope to see you again next week. Thank you.